Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is July 3rd, 2023, and we are getting into the volume 130 of me answering your immigration related questions. As you can see, I have all your comments pulled up in front of me. As always, before beginning this video, I'm going to mention I am not an immigration attorney. This is not legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin. So let's start with the very first question from Rezwan Khan. Hi, greetings. Can I proceed with my NVC payment in CAC website by Mercury bank account? Thanks. Rezwan Khan, thank you for asking the question. It's a great question. So I am not entirely sure with the specifics of the bank, but as long as you have the card from the bank, whether it's a debit card, I'm assuming if you have a bank account with them, a checking account, then you should have a debit card, So if you have that, then yes, absolutely, you can definitely make a payment on CAC NVC portal, when you're paying for, the affidavit of support, for your DS-260, you can definitely make a payment using the debit card or credit card. And obviously I would recommend doing that because that's the fastest way, instead of sending them a check or doing something like this. So yes, absolutely, I'm pretty sure you should be able to do that. Again, I'm not familiar with the bank, Mercury Bank itself, but I don't see why you wouldn't be able to if you have the debit card from them. Okay, so let me post the response here and we're gonna move on to the next question from IC6G. My attorney filed my EAD renewal months after she was supposed to, causing loss of job. Wow. Doesn't answer phone calls, messages, emails, and now it's been 2 weeks since she got my receipt and still hasn't mailed it to me. Can I sue her? Wow, I'm very sorry you're going with this. And that's one of the reasons why I started this channel, because I'm an immigrant myself. I've been through the whole everything, whatever you can imagine. I've been through it. Background checks, interviews, courts, medical examinations, everything, and of course immigration attorneys. And I had some really good experience, and I had some really bad experiences. And bad experiences, it was more than good experiences. Obviously, that's just how it is when you're dealing with the world, that we live in, the world of the flesh, the human world that we created. So what you need to do in this situation, you definitely need to follow the steps first described in this video that you commented on. You definitely want to reach out to the Bar Association first and address this and see what they do about this, because you do want to, well, first of all, you try to reach out to your attorney directly yourself. This is documentation that you need. So phone calls, when you called, when they didn't answer, record that, all right? So you have all of the phone calls that you made recorded when they were called, and the result, obviously, no answer. The emails, all of the times that you tried to reach out to the attorney. The next step is to reach out to the Bar Association of the state where that attorney is licensed to practice. Reach out to them and explain the situation and let them handle this. Obviously, with your loss of job, you definitely do want to keep all of the documentation that you lost your job, that your EAD got expired, and obviously basically you're preparing the package. Because yes, if you experienced financial loss as a result of this, and you did because you lost the job, you can absolutely 100% sue your attorney for misconduct. But again, before you can do that, you want to build your case by showing that you tried to resolve this issue with the attorney directly, that you reach out to the main, basically, governing body over these attorneys, right? And that would be the Bar Association. And then they basically, working it out and showing you that it in fact was a misconduct. And then from then on, once you have all of the documentation, once you have all of the case built up, then you can go to the court and sue the attorney for the reimbursement of all the financial hardship that you experienced, all the financial loss that was caused because of the negligence of this attorney that failed to renew your EAD. And for everyone else who's watching this video, I would again, look at this, hear this and take it as a, as a lesson for yourself, because this is what happens when you are not personally staying on top of your own case. It is your job, it is your employment authorization doc, it's your immigration case. It's yours. Nobody will take better care of that than you. So make sure to stay on top of it. Don't rely fully on attorneys, on immigration practitioners, on friends, on relatives, on whoever. It's yours, and you stay on top of it. You do your best in order to, contribute to this as much as possible, so that everything is good. And I see 6G. I really hope that you can resolve this, and please, if you can, all of your steps as you take, if you can, update everyone, because I know people who are watching these videos, they are interested to hear others. A lot of people watch these videos not just to hear an answer for themselves, but because they want to see the cases of other people, because they want reassurance, and they want to know what is happening whenever it comes to the whole immigration ladder. I would call it ladder, because you go step by step, and every time you take the next step, it's like some other problems, new problems. So if you can provide updates, that would be really nice. Okay, let's move on to the next one from Susie and Jordak 6261. Thank you so much for your prompt answer. God bless you for everything you do. Susie and George, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you. God bless you, and yeah, we'll see. Hopefully this issue that we're all waiting for the resolution will be resolved soon. Okay, moving further to Papela TB P8450. My mom was documentarily qualified since February 2023, but still waiting for NVC for the interview schedule. When I can expect the progress for this? Thanks. Okay, so if we're talking about your mom, it means that it's an immediate relative category. If she was documentarily qualified February 2023, it's been, let's see, so February is the second month, we are in 7. So 5 months, about 5 months, which is definitely within the normal. Most of the times it's about 6 months before they actually schedule the interview. I am sure that the case already is at the US Embassy where your mom will go through the interview. And I honestly think it was already scheduled. It's just they cannot send you the notification of when the interview was scheduled until it is 30 days before the interview. So for example, if your mom's interview is scheduled for September 1st, US Embassy cannot notify you earlier than August 1st or August 2nd, whatever the 30 days mark is, right, for them. Why? Because you have to do the medical examination within those 30 days, and that's really it. So I think it's anywhere around the corner, and once you hear it from them, you're gonna have it 30 days in advance, and you're gonna have 30 days for your mom will have 30 days to do the medical examination. But with the immediate relative category, her visa is definitely already available, and I'm pretty sure it's already pretty sure the interview is already scheduled. But if you want, you can also contact the US Embassy in the country where your mom will be going through the interview. Contact the US Embassy and ask them. Say, hey, I'm documentarily qualified. My immigrant visa is already available because I'm in immediate relative category. Do you know when my interview is scheduled for? Sometimes they say, most of the times they say, no, we can't give you that information. But I've seen cases where they said, oh yeah, sure, let's take a look, and they actually give them the date. So give it a shot. It's not gonna hurt. Okay, let's move on to the next question from Rezwana Khan. Hi, greetings. Can I pay the NVC fee in CAC website through credit or debit card? Thanks. Okay, so it's the same question from earlier. Yes, absolutely. You definitely can pay with a credit card or a debit card on the NVC website. Okay, moving further to Euniceporas. Hi sir, my priority date is February 2012. When is the possible visa interview for visa? Okay, so Euniceporas, if you can provide, I'm gonna definitely need more information because it's really hard to tell you. It really depends on the category, or the chargeability. So if you can, please submit a separate comment. Don't respond to my comment within your comment because I don't get the notifications for those. Please submit a separate comment with family preference category. So for example, if we're looking at the visa bulletin, whether it's F1, F2A, F2B, F3, F4, or if it is an immediate relative. But in your case, it's definitely not immediate relative category because you've been waiting since 2012. So you're in one of the family preference categories, the ones that take a little bit longer than the immediate relative categories. So let me know the family preference category, let me know the chargeability area, because again, depending on the chargeability area, it might be a little bit different. And then once again, if you can put the priority date, because so that I don't forget, because I do get a lot of comments and questions, so I might forget that. And I will take a look at the visa bulletin and give you some rough estimates. Okay, moving further to Chris Claret. 8337, hello, my situation is quite different and I am wondering if you could give me advice as to what to do. I have B1, B2 visa valid from May 2023 to August 2023. Okay, so it's very close to expiring due to sports event to be held in Guam. I have an annotation that my visa is only valid for Guam for the event. Okay, the event was originally on June 19, 28, 2023, but because of the super typhoon that hit Guam, the event was postponed. Now the new date is on November 2023, but my visa will expire in August. The organizer in Guam informed me to extend my visa through 539 form. Okay, yeah, well, if you're here, then you could definitely do that. There are 4 of us in the group with the same situation. My question is, can we extend our visa using this form, or do we have to reapply? We have not been to the US. Okay, Chris, thank you very much for your question. That's a great question. And sorry you're dealing with the situation. Obviously, you know, God's will for stuff like this, it's really hard. It's always best. Whatever comes out, it's always for your good. But in your situation, unfortunately, you cannot file the I-539 because I-539 is when you are actually in the United States. Because I-539 is actually, it's not the entry visa that you are getting extended. It is the duration of stay that you're getting extended, and the only way to get the duration of stay basically in the first place is once you enter the country, because they give you that I-94 you know, in your passport saying that, oh, you have 6 months that you can be legally here in the country based on your B1, B2 entry. So yes, you do have to be in the country. So seems like for you the only way would be to go actually to the embassy once again and get another visa. I don't think it should be a problem. I know it's a little bit of a little bit more hassle and obviously more expenses because you will have to pay again for the interview to get another visa. But it shouldn't be a problem because you have all the valid reasons that you have the event that was rescheduled, and you can provide the documentation showing that. You have the reason why the event was, you know, rescheduled in the first place, you know, with all the typhoon, and again, you can show that information. And you can show them that, you know, you had the valid B1, B2 visa, and you could have used it to come here and do whatever, but you didn't, because you are actually planning to go for an event and not for any other reason. So everything is in your favor here, so it should not be a problem at all walking into the embassy and, you know, just getting another B1, B2. I'm sorry you're dealing with this, but this seems like the only option that I see as of right now for you. Okay, moving further to the next comment from Franklin Vadas 8177. Very good way to explain step by step. Thank you for taking your time to guide me through. Franklin, thank you, sir, for your very kind comment. Appreciate it, and thank you for watching. Glad this was helpful. Okay, moving further to user BV9EL, and I'm sorry I'm dealing with handles. I don't know why YouTube changed from names to handles. Do I have to change my address in USCIS if I don't have any pending case? No, you don't have to worry about that. I updated my USPS address, but when I change my USCIS address, it keeps on saying that the USPS system found multiple addresses matching the address I entered. Okay, great question. Thank you for asking. You don't have to worry about the USCIS or updating anything with USCIS if you do not have any kind of cases with USCIS. USCIS is only for people that are dealing with some kind of immigration. There's an application, there's a petition, whatever it is. In that case, yes, you have to. The first thing, address, the first thing you want to update is with USCIS. But if you don't have any dealings with them, then don't worry about it whatsoever. Okay, moving further to Elias Ilyas Adnan 4128. Would you recommend to file online or by mail for expedited application review? Thank you. Okay, Ilyas, I think that's the Ilyas, and then the last name would be Adnan. So Ilyas, yes, absolutely, 100% I would recommend filing online. Again, you know, whenever it comes to expedited processing, it's a little bit different than regular processing. But when we're talking about regular processing, you are saving a ton of time when you're filing online. For the expedited processing, most of the times you have to submit a separate request for, you know, expedited processing, and you have to have good reasons why you're requesting the expedited processing. So this is a whole separate area. If you want to do that, you can, and I actually have a video on this channel, how to request expedited processing with USCIS. It's a slim chance that they will actually process it in an expedited fashion, but you know, it's worth a try. But when we're talking about the regular processing, submitting the application and, you know, waiting, online is way faster. Why? Because once you fill it out, once you pay the fee, the application is immediately there in the system to be looked at by the immigration officer, compared to, obviously, you know, putting that mail paper application, sending it by mail, it going to the PO box or whatever front desk, and then sitting there and then being delivered from the PO box or the front desk to the immigration officers, and then you get the point. And then obviously there's a problem, they have to mail it back to, you know, to have you fix the problem. So yes, 100% online. If it's not a problem to you, because, you know, for some people they're just, you know, not very happy to work with computers, and I understand that completely. But if you can, if it's not a problem for you, 100% do it online. Okay, moving further to Paula Dome 7324. I am documentarily qualified since 2022 November. My dad is a USA citizen and I am over 21 years. My chargeability area is Ghana. He put through I-130 petition for me. My priority date is May 2016. How long do I have to wait for an interview date, please? Okay, Paula, thank you very much for asking. Or maybe it's actually Paul Adam or Paula Dome. Sorry, I'm sorry. Again, see, YouTube messed me up. Okay, so your dad is USA citizen and you're over 21. So I'm thinking you're either F1 or F3. Because if you're unmarried, you're F1. If you're married, you're F3. So let's take a look at the visa bulletin and see what's going on for both. You're already documentarily qualified, so we're going to be looking at the graph A, final action dates for family sponsor preference cases. So let's take a look. Since you're from Ghana, that's all chargeability area. So we're going to be looking at this column right here. So F1 is right now December 2014. So people with the priority date in December 2014, their immigrant visas are becoming available now as of June, July 2023. So you are in May 2016. So you are roughly, so it's almost 2015 because it's December. It's December 15, 2014. So you're almost 2015. So you're about a year and a half away from the availability of your immigrant visa. Now, if we're looking at the F3, it's a little bit more. Obviously, there's another 7 years. But I don't think you're in F3. I think you're in F1. Why? Because you are already documentarily qualified. If you were in F3, they wouldn't open the NVC portal so early because you're still far from the availability of the immigrant visa if you are in F3. So I don't think that's the case. You got to be in F1. So you're over 21 and your dad is a US citizen. So I'm pretty sure you're in F1. So yes, you're looking roughly at another year and a half for the availability of the immigrant visa. So that's right around, you know, year and a half. That's when your interview is going to be scheduled. I'm sure. Yeah, you're documentarily qualified since November 2022, so about 6-7 months now, 8 months actually. So 8 months plus, you know, another year and a half, and roughly a little bit more than 2 years. So yeah, that's everything sounds right. So just a little bit more. I know for most people, a year and a half is not a little bit, it's a long time, but for most family preference categories, you know, and I can personally relate because I have multiple petitions, and one of the petitions I'll still have to wait another 13 years. So I understand how it is to wait, and you've been waiting since 2016, and so you're really, really close, almost there. Okay, moving further to Prince Ose Bonsu 31. Sorry, probably messing up the name. Hello, sir. If I am in the USA already and an immigrant visa interview is scheduled, can I transfer the interview to the USA or ignore it and apply for adjustment of status since I don't want to return? Okay, great question. Thank you for asking. So, if the interview is already scheduled, personally, my recommendation, if it is not a problem for you, to return and just go through that interview there, just get that immigrant visa and then come into the United States already as a permanent resident, I would recommend doing that rather than, because you don't want to ignore the interview. Definitely you don't want to ignore the interview and just pretend like, because you're gonna miss your interview and there might be a problem because of it. You definitely don't want to do it. What you can do is you can reach out to the NVC, to the Department of State, through the public inquiry form, and let them know that you are actually in the United States. And they can, instead of doing the interview, just, canceling the interview there and then scheduling the interview here in one of the immigration field offices where you would go and do the same thing and then file your adjustment of status here. You can definitely do that. But I would not recommend doing it. Why? Because you reaching out and depending on how close the interview is, because most of the times the interview is scheduled 30 days, so you might have only about 30 days before the interview. You might not have enough time, first of all, to update them. And even if you do, it's going to create some additional, because now they have to reschedule, transfer the case here, all this administrative processing on top of just... If you can return, if it's not a problem for you, I would recommend doing that because it just eliminates all of this unnecessary administrative stuff, unnecessary delays. I mean, you're already done. You are on the finish line. It's not like, you're here and you don't have to return and, you got another year and a half for the availability of your immigrant visa. In those situations, yes, absolutely. Transfer your case here and just go through the interview here. Absolutely. But because your interview is already scheduled, I just, unless something is, the situation in the country is dangerous, if you return, it might be a problem for you because of something. In those situations, yes, absolutely. But if there is nothing preventing you, if there's not a huge, except some financial, spending time on the and money on ticket, traveling back and coming back in. But it's so much better because you would go, you would do the interview, you would get your immigrant visa, you would come in back into the United States, and that's it. You come into the United States as a permanent resident. That's it. It's done. No more filing, nothing. It's done. You are a permanent resident. So it's up to you, of course. It's up to you. And if you can, I would really appreciate a follow-up comment if you can, and let everyone know what you decided to do, because it would be great to know. And for everyone who's submitting follow-up comments or additional questions, make sure you respond. Don't respond to my comment within your comment. Submit it as a separate comment on any of the videos, because when you respond to my comment within your comment, the YouTube does not send me the notification for it. I don't know why. Okay, moving further to Luigina Manson. I was arrested for domestic violence. The case was dropped next day. Not charges filed by the judge or my husband. Just a stupid argument. Can they deny my citizenship? Luigina, great question. Thank you for asking. So no, if the charges were dropped, if it didn't go further, then you should not worry about anything. Obviously, have all of the documents that you have from this situation with you in a separate folder, just in case if it comes up. You can take it out and say, hey, yes, it was some dumb argument, it was misunderstanding, and here you go. The charges were dropped, so they were never even filed. So everything is good. But obviously have them just in case if it comes up. But you should not have any problems at all whenever it comes to that. Okay, so let me respond to this, and we're gonna move on further to Prince OC Bonsu 31. If I am in the US and an immigration visa, okay, so that's the same question. So I already addressed that, so I'm just gonna put this and put a response here as well. And we're gonna move on further to Delano Richards 3471. When my CAC status say refuse, but the date keep changing, what that means? Okay, Delano Richards, I'm definitely gonna need more information to answer your question. So, do you know the reason for the refusal? Has your immigrant visa been refused, and did they give you the reason why it was refused? Because if it's refused, then well, technically, then you should have received the final action, the letter, not final action, but the letter basically letting you know that it was refused and the reason why it was refused, and then from then on you either file the appeal or motion to reconsider, reopen the case, so far so forth. So if you can, please let me know more details about your situation, and I'll try to address it better next time. Just make sure don't respond to my comment within your comment again, because YouTube don't send me notifications for those. Okay, moving further to Jesse Sarmiento 7670. Hello, I'm from Philippines. Priority date is June 24, 2021. Got an email June 8, 2022 being documentarily qualified. Congratulations. Petitioned by our daughter. Awesome. Immediate relative. Yep. Our interview is soon. Currently. Thank you for your reply. Applied, California. Jesse Sarmiento, thank you very much for your question. Congratulations on being documentarily qualified. You were documentarily qualified in June 2022. So now you're already pushing that. Let's see. A year and like almost a month. A year and 1 month, almost. And I know Philippines, whenever it comes to Philippines, they are a little bit heavier on the immigration numbers, especially whenever it comes to family reunification petitions. So that's quite normal. I've heard some situations where it takes a little bit longer. It should be right around the corner though, because a year and 1 month, it's a little bit of a long time. Honestly, in your situation, I would recommend doing two things. For your daughter, I would recommend to submit a public inquiry with NVC here on her end as a petitioner. And on your end, I would recommend reaching out to the U.S. Embassy in Philippines and asking them, telling them, hey, we are in the immediate relative category. The immigrant visa is already available. When is the interview scheduled for? Because I'm pretty sure the interview is already scheduled. You just didn't get the notification yet because it's further than 30 days. So I'm going to show you first how to submit that public inquiry form. If you know, great. If you don't, well, there you go. And for everyone who's watching, if they don't know, it's going to be a little bit of a tutorial. So we are on Visa Bulletin for July 2023 page of the travel.state.gov, official government website for the Department of State. You can find this link in the description below. So from this page, you're going to click on Contact Us right here at the top. I'm going to open it in new window. No idea what this is. There you go. Contact us. So we're going to click on US Visas from this page. US Visas Contacts. Click on this. And then from this page, we're going to scroll down a little bit and you will see in the very first row of this table, Email Public Inquiry Form. Okay, click on this and you'll scroll down a little more and then you will see Online Immigrant Visa Inquiries Only Public Inquiry Form. So we're going to click on this and then you will have your public inquiry form in front of you. Here, your daughter filling it out will put the NVC case number, principal applicants, that's beneficiary, full name, beneficiary's full name, beneficiary's date of birth, petitioner's full name, that's your daughter's full name. Who are you, petitioner or beneficiary? If it's your daughter filling it out, which I would recommend doing it for her, she can put the petitioner, her email address, and then in the inquiry, just introducing herself and kind of describing briefly the case, that it's her parents, that's immediate relative category, that it's already documentarily qualified since June 2022, and the interview is still not scheduled, and ask for a follow-up and see what's going on. So that's that. And then for you can find the information on usembassy.gov. This is again the government website, and it lists all of the US embassies around the world, and for some reason it's taking a little bit while to load today. So while it's loading, I'm actually going to post the response here, and I'm going to post link right here. Let's see, usembassy.gov. It's not loading, so probably some kind of maintenance on that website. I'm not sure what's going on, but basically on that website you can find the list. There you go, list of all countries. So we're going to scroll down to P, Philippines. There we go, click on this, and there you go, US Embassy in Manila, most likely.
That's where you're gonna be. And if it's not listed here, then you can find which US embassy it's going to be, depending on the proximity, how close you are to it. But this is the phone number for the embassy in Manila. I'm pretty sure they should be aware of that information. Give them a call. Again, introduce yourself, let them know that you are in the immediate relative category and the interview still has not been scheduled yet, so you want to know when the interview is going to be scheduled. Don't be upset if they don't give you any information. A lot of times they don't, but they might give you the information and let you know when the interview was scheduled for. I've seen the cases where they do that. Okay, so let's post the response here. We're going to move on to our last question for today from Denise to 4958. Denise, thank you very much for another comment. Always appreciate your comments. As you can see, Denise, this icon right here means Denise is one of the top commenters on this channel. So Denise asks, when is the next visa bulletin coming off? Sir, NVC is delaying so much, no replies if mails are sent. Denise, sorry you're dealing with this. This is how they are most of the times. Whenever it comes to government organizations, they drag things out. That's how it is. But we are looking probably in another week or two for the next visa bulletin. So looking forward to seeing that as well. And for everyone who's watching this video, if you haven't watched any other videos on this channel, every visa bulletin that comes out, I make a separate video on it, and I talk about each category and how it changed from the previous visa bulletin. So if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, make sure to subscribe, because once August 2023 visa bulletin comes out, I will be talking about it on this channel. So thank you everyone for tuning in today. Thank you very much for your questions. It's always a blessing to get them. Hopefully my answers are helpful. Again, thank you for your time. God bless you all, and I'll see you all in the next video.